My Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, was part of Reeling Film Festival a couple of years ago, and it is that time of year for Reeling 2025, the 43rd Chicago LGBTQ plus International Film Festival, opened just this Friday, and it runs through September 28th, and joining us once again to chat all things Reeling is Morgan Fox. Morgan, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me back. It's truly an honor to be with my two favorite people in Chicago radio.
Oh, thank you, Morgan.
Flattering
so
is you
sweet. Everywhere.
How was opening night?
Opening night was truly incredible. I mean, it's one of our biggest opening nights yet. We had two, big features screened that night, Lesbian Space Princess, and then we also had Plainclothes. We had Lesbian Space Princess, the animated film that was super, super fun and kitschy and also had a big heart. And Plainclothes, the movie that just opened in L.A. and New York, incredible sort of romantic thriller based in the 90s that pretty soon will be nationwide. You'll be able to see it in theaters. But, of course, if you come to Reeling, you get a sneak peek of these films first before they're released. And it was huge. I mean, the energy was incredible, sold-out crowds, and really expanding our audience. A lot of young folks coming, a lot of folks from different backgrounds in different areas of Chicago, and some folks even traveling from elsewhere. So really, really great start to the festival this year.
Fabulous. Yeah, I'm very intrigued by Plainclothes because that's about the undercover, like, sting operation-y kind of things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I grew up in the 90s. So this movie had everything for me. It was like 90s. It's a lot of it's set in a mall because it's about an undercover cop that's basically doing stings in a mall, trying to catch gay men doing things they shouldn't be doing in bathrooms. I don't know. And so it has that 90s vibe of a film set in the 90s, the kind of look of it. And of course, it's a true period film in that way.
Yeah.
But I love malls, so it's got the mall vibe. And also the film is just sort of shot it's like a thriller, but almost like an action film at times, dealing with the main characters, the undercover cop's neurosis. Of course, spoiler alert, the undercover cop, likes dudes, so he's kind of conflicted here, and it deals with his neurosis of working through that, obvious conflict there and feeling guilty.
I know. Look, I also grew up in the 90s, and let me tell you, this actually happened to a friend of mine.
Oh my gosh!
But not in a public bathroom. It was they were in a bar, and that happened, and it was very the repercussions were amazing. So again, it's very pertinent and a really interesting take on. And as you said, it's a period piece, a snapshot of the homophobia and the internalized homophobia that happens within our community, and how hopefully now we've kind of moved through that. So, yay! I'm so glad it was such a huge hit for you. What are some of the other features that are going to be coming up this week for Reeling 2025?
Yeah, so, I mean, our jobs as programmers is to basically watch all the best queer films from the last year, hundreds of films, and then we filter that in for you all, about 40 features and documentaries, and then a whole slew of short films. So, you're getting essentially a VIP curated look at films that have all been made this year, but haven't yet premiered, haven't yet made it into streaming or anything like that, and certainly not in the theaters yet. They're all great, to be honest, but I'm just going to highlight, listen, today it's a little gloomy out. You might get some rain later. So maybe today you want to get in here in an hour and a half. We have American Schemers. It's a Chicago filmmaker, Jack Newell. He made a film with a lot of Chicago actors. Some of it's shot in Chicago, but it's also sort of a New York-based film that's incredible. Like, the plot is about these two really good friends, one of them being queer, of course, and they basically are robbing the homes of recently deceased people under the guise of being a cleaning crew. And when they do that, they decide to take on the identity of someone because they find basically a will that's under dispute. And they decide to take on the identity of one of these people to try to inherit this huge estate. It's sort of a slap, it's like the film knows what it is. It's a comedy, a dark comedy, and you see some real familiar faces in the Chicago comedic scene. That it's a really, really fun film. Obviously, the filmmaker will be here. Some of the actors will be here. So that's at 2:00 today here at the Landmark. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Morgan, I was a judge for the narrative category, and I watched 5 films. Did they announce the winners yet? I don't want to spoil anything of that.
I don't think they've announced it yet. But
okay, I won't say what I chose, but American Schemers was one of the films that I watched, and it is definitely a wackadoodle, as Scott likes to say.
Total wackadoodle.
But there were some others too. But keep going with some of your favorites.
Yeah. Tonight, Drive Back Home is a really. It's kind of opposite. It's not a fun film. It's also a period piece, similar to Plainclothes, as we mentioned. But this one's set in 1970, and it's a Canadian-based film. He's a familiar actor, Alan Cumming. He plays basically a messy gay queen who has gotten in trouble, similar to Plainclothes, for being queer in public, basically. I won't spoil anything. But he is in jail, and his brother, who's like a grumpy, typical grumpy straight dude, who doesn't really think he can relate to his brother at all, has to go drive 1,000 miles to bail him out and bring him back home. Oh. And so the film is a road trip of them working through their past and getting to know each other more, and work through this like pivotal moment that happened in their youth that really shows what the distance between them is about. And it's a really, really great film. Alan Cumming is always a doll and incredible.
He's great.
Yeah, so that's a fun one. That's tonight at 6:30 here. Monday we have Lakeview. It's a wonderful film as well, and we do have filmmakers here from that. Tara Thorne is going to be here. It's basically like a. There's so many films that sort of do this setting where you go, a bunch of friends take a vacation at like a lake house, right? Mm-hmm. So you get it in the title Lakeview. It's a dramedy, I would say, but also a lesbian romance. And it's just a group of friends who sort of like represent these different archetypes. And they go through all of the stuff that puts anyone, of course, but specifically like the lesbian situationships and romances and sort of talking through all of those things, the breakups, the age gap relationships, the expected babies, all the things that sort of plague them. And it's really great. At the end of the day, it's a film about friendship between women.
And I watched that one. I think that one epitomizes lesbian drama, if there ever was any. The term.
Yeah, it's so.
It's got everything in there.
Yeah, it really does, and it's wonderful. And it's very straightforward in the sense of like, it's not like a film that pulls any hijinks or whatever else. It's a really, I think like that theater should be full. It's a great film, and you don't see a lot of films like this, I don't think.
No, you don't. No. Mm-mm.
I love that. So it seems like, go ahead. Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
No, it sounds like, we've got a lot coming up and a lot to offer. That's one of the things that's so wonderful about Reeling, the the Chicago LGBTQ plus International Film Festival. It's that those who curate this offer up a wide variety of perspectives. You could see films from covering all aspects of the community, which is no small feat because we've got one of everybody, in the LGBTQ plus community.
There's lots of subject matter, for sure.
A lot of subject matter. And one of the things that I also really love is along with the features and the narratives, there are documentaries that are also going to be there. I know we were fortunate enough to sit down last week to chat with the filmmaker behind It's Dorothy, which is going to be showing today, I think at 4:15. It is an incredible documentary. As you said, it might be getting a little rainy. Mm-hmm. But it goes and examines how the character of Dorothy Gale from The Wizard of Oz has become a queer cultural touchstone.
Yep. Love that movie.
Yes.
We love that one. That was excellent.
Yeah, that's an incredible film. I think that is the thing. We do offer everything for everyone here. That's been always the aim, but this year more than ever, we are really trying to make sure that we're reaching all aspects of the audience here at Reeling. The future of cinema in general, theaters are struggling with getting people out, right? And so it's harder than ever in general. So, of course, film festivals also have that same wall that they're always butting up against to try to get butts and seats. And you know, like, not only, you know, a half decade ago, we were talking about, yeah, we're post-gay, we're post-queer, like that everything is sort of normalized and we're all integrated into society, and it feels like we have turned the clock back so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So I do feel like these types of third spaces where we can all congregate safely and truly see ourselves represented and celebrated on screen is really important. Yes. And so, you know, we are doing our best to reach and offer films that represent all of us and give us a space to come and congregate and like share that joy and the magic of sitting in the dark and watching our stories reflected back to us, you know?
You know, in times of trouble, it seems like we reach in and deep down and come up with more, like especially talking about the artists, the filmmakers. Are you finding that there was more depth and breadth, you know, like this year's the movies that you looked at, the films that were sent to you is there just, how has it changed in the few years that you've been involved in reeling, as far as the quality and the amount of work that's coming out for the LGBTQ community?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think that what we see now, there was a little bit of a lull there because we had the COVID lull where things really slowed down, and then we had the strikes. So a lot of stuff slowed down, but it's starting to ramp back up really quickly. And, you know, I mean, I think what is happening is that the Hollywood machine has stopped funding independent films like they used to. And so budgets like micro budgets are more popular now. And, of course, access to equipment is easier than ever. So it truly is, you know, and literally like an iPhone. I just got the new iPhone, but even like iPhone several generations ago, you can go and shoot a film on an iPhone as long as you have also a sound person and make a film that is like movie theater quality.
Yeah, like Tangerine.
And so that allows 1,000% Tangerine, which is crazy. Like, and the iPhones today are like
even better,
20 times better than those iPhones. That was an iPhone 6 they shot that on.
Oh, so, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so that's amazing.
Yes. iPhone 6. But that puts these devices in the hands of so many people. And I do, you know, I'm a filmmaker myself. I started to tell my own story to basically survive as a queer person. And I do see that more and more, that people are telling their own stories, and that's what should be happening. Yes. I mean, there's a film, Dreams and Nightmares is an incredible film that's also today at 4:15 here at the Landmark. It's about a group of Black queer folks basically going on a road trip to find a friend of theirs. And it is made by a Black queer person, and it is a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful film that explores like the surreality of friendships and travel and being present and in the moment. And that's the type of film that, you know, that's the first time I've seen that film in my course of programming reeling, a film like that. So I do think that we have, you know, intentionally programming voices that represent the full spectrum of the queer experience. But also it's like, it's not a reach to do so. It's not like we're having to choose films of any different quality to make sure we represent everyone. There are films of all parts of the spectrum that are incredible, and we just feel it's an honor to be able to present them to Chicago.
Absolutely. And I feel buoyed that there was such a large turnout for opening night because, you know, like you were saying, people are struggling to get butts and seats into the theaters these days. I think COVID instilled a kind of maybe even a cultural laziness about, you know, where it's like now everything is convenient. It's streamed. I can watch here. As opposed to what you were saying is like the shared experience, the collective of everybody sitting in the dark, facing one direction, experiencing this film with a group of people. There's something that you can't replicate that when you sit and stream from home.
It's so true. I mean, there is something to, especially when you're dealing with comedies, you know, films that like are amped up by sitting next to people who are also laughing out loud. I mean, the same goes for emotional films or whatever else, but there is something so much more powerful when you're also, it's a little harder to reach for your phone when you're in a room full of people that discourages you doing so, you know. There is that laziness, like you said, when you're at home. You know, Netflix, they don't admit it, but there is rumored that they make films that allow you to be able to scroll your phone while watching, meaning that they keep the plot a little loose so there's not that you're not going to miss something if you look away for 5 minutes here and there. And you know, we believe in the theater that, you know, this art form is sacred and that you should come and be able to watch every frame of a film and experience the importance and magic of that. You know, it is a sacred art, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I do think the power of cinema to transform is something that's very real.
Amen.
Yeah, agreed. And, you know, I always go back to when you're talking about how to change things. I go back to your documentary. This is what Love in Action looks like. It was a very powerful movie about the conversion therapy movement, Love in Action, that was based in Memphis, Tennessee. And your documentary was wonderful, and I highly recommend it. So throwing that out there, saying kudos to you, Morgan.
Yes,
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Well, it's very true. But speaking of of documentaries, I know we got Dorothy. Are there any other docs that are, because, you know, right now I'm craving truth. I'm craving seeing things from a clear perspective. Are there any other documentaries that you want to kind of make sure people look out for?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all of the docs that we have this year are really, really good and powerful. You know, I would say a lot of the great ones have already screened, but we do have, let's see, today at 3:30, Velvet Vision, the story of James Bidgood and the making of Pink Narcissus is a really cool documentary, not only because, I think to me, it's like docs. The wonderful thing about docs is you can go into a film not really caring about the subject, but a good documentary will make you care about it because they're often character focused, you know, in a way that you will just suddenly find yourself so interested in this new thing. So this is we had the documentary of the making of the film Pink Narcissus, which is an incredible queer film of our history. And that film, the documentary screens today at 3:30 here at the Landmark. And then we actually screen Pink Narcissus over the weekend at
fabulous.
Chicago Filmmakers. So you can do a full circle of not only seeing how the film was made and the importance of that film, the impact that it had, but then Sunday at 6 p.m. you can go over to Chicago Filmmakers in the Edgewater neighborhood and watch Pink Narcissus. So to me, that's a really fun journey to be able to do. I love doing that.
That is great. Yeah. I'm so very excited. See, this is what we come to expect from the people at Reeling Film Festival. You know, the quality of programming that is able to kind of connect two different films together. It's fantastic. So, friends, make sure that you run over to Landmark Century and also to Chicago Filmmakers, because, man, that space is so cool. I love it over there. It's it's an old fire station. But Reeling 2025, the 43rd Chicago LGBTQ plus International Film Festival. It runs through September 28th. It looks like it's going to be raining for most of this week. So hey, let's make some sunshine in the cinema. For a full list of films and schedule, go to reelingfilmfest.org. Morgan Fox, thank you so much for taking time out once again to tell us all about all things Reeling, and have a fantastic festival.
Listen, thank y'all so much. It's always such an honor. I hope that I can somehow engage with y'all throughout the year. And also, hey, tell Jerry I said hello.
I most certainly
nice
will.
To have you,
he got mad at me last year. He's like, why didn't you tell him it was my name? And I'm like, okay. Jerry and Morgan have worked together.
I got that
there we are. So, all right. Again, have a great fest. ReelingFilmFest.org. Morgan Fox, have a great day.
Thanks, Morgan.
Y'all too. Thank you so much.